Hello, and I am back with another update for the coronavirus stuff. It is the 20th. I'm lying, it's the 21st, Friday the 21st of February. And wow, what an interesting day it's been. Day before yesterday was a quiet day. Yesterday was, had some updates. But today, what is going on? All hell's breaking loose. Okay, so first of all, the numbers, right? Total 76,828 new cases. And I said I wasn't going to talk about China anymore because it wasn't very interesting because the numbers were slowing right down. But then today, what's going on? There's all sorts being found out. So first off, yesterday I saw the unconfirmed report that I was going to mention, which I didn't, but now it's been confirmed. So in the Chinese prison system, there are over 500 cases. One of the prison guards got infected, didn't say anything, and took it back to his family, infected like the entire prison. I'm not sure, this is sort of spread out over a few prisons, so I think now they're only just starting to look into the possibility that it's got into the prisons, and I'm guessing over the next few days we'll see some more numbers coming out of the prisons in China. But 500 from the prison system just today. And it seems like the rest of the world now is just starting to get into the epidemic stage. It's like right now the rest of the world seems to be where China was back in December of last year. So South Korea has gone from like 50 odd cases to 204 cases. That is ridiculous. Today they added 93 new cases to bring the total to 204 cases in South Korea. Apparently there's been a bit of a super spreading event. So like I said yesterday, about the mass wedding, and there was also something else about a church. I had no idea they were so religious in South Korea. I had no idea at all, but I guess until you go somewhere you don't know anything about it, right? Japan added 14 cases, and surprisingly, Iran, yesterday they added 2 and 2 deaths, and today they've added 13 new cases to bring their total to 18 cases. Wow. USA as well, they've added 12 new cases. What is going on? Italy's added 5, Australia's added 4, Taiwan's added another 2. It is all kicking off now, and another death in South Korea. Did I mention that one yesterday? I forgot. Was that yesterday? I completely forgot. I don't even know where I am right now. Anyway, yeah, that is really surprising. Really surprising. There are more unconfirmed reports about 200 plus more important people that may have been infected in China, but I will not talk about that yet until it's come out fully. I don't want to be breaking the news about that. No, thank you. I'll wait for that to officially come out and then I'll talk to you about it. But yeah, unconfirmed reports of an extra 200 and something cases at least. So that's yet to come. China once again has revised the method of counting the cases. So we've seen the numbers go down by quite a lot, but then back up quite a lot because of the prisons. So without the 500 odd from the prison, there would have only been like 200 or 300 cases today. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on, why they keep changing the way that they record the data, because then it means that at the end, no one's gonna have a complete data set using the same method from start to end. It's just going to be like, first half we use that one, in the middle we change it to that one, and then we change it back again, and who knows what they're going to change it to next week. So I wish there would be a bit more consistency in the way that they record who's got the coronavirus. And I wonder what's happening in the rest of the world in that case. If China's changing, is the rest of the world changing and just not announcing it? There was a massive crowd in Ukraine. I'm so surprised at that because that's a little closer to home. So yeah, there were 45 Ukrainians and 27 foreign nationals flown from Wuhan in China back to Ukraine. And the massive crowds, oh my God. They were heading to a quarantine facility in Ukraine, and the people who lived nearby, they were not happy about having a quarantine facility near to their homes. They were not happy about people with the coronavirus coming anywhere near them. So they blocked the streets and they were throwing stuff at the vehicles that were carrying the evacuees. That was crazy. I'm so surprised that happened. Wouldn't you want them to come home? And if not, I guess they are going to a quarantine facility. It's not like they were being let out into the public. I'm just a bit confused about that. That cruise ship, that plague ship, my God. 2 Australians have tested positive after going home. I tell you what, everyone on that cruise ship has the virus. Just lock them all up. Okay, not lock them up. Quarantine them all. Like, let them go home, let them go to wherever they want to go, but just wherever they go. Quarantine them, but just don't let them stay on that ship. It's ridiculous. If they stay on that ship any longer, my God, we're just gonna count them all as dead. Take them off the ship, quarantine them in their home countries, and leave it at that. Just get that ship away from me. And I don't understand, when people have been quarantined with this kind of virus, why is there such a big operation and a big scare to get it cleaned? Clean it, oh my god, you need to make sure it's sterilized and clean it. Because we've already been told that the virus can't survive for more than a few hours or a few days outside of the human body. So surely you just leave the ship abandoned for a week or two, maybe leave the ship quarantined for 2 weeks, and then just give it a normal clean like you would, right? I mean, are we contradicting ourselves here? We need to sterilize it, give it a good wipe down, disinfectant, this and that. The virus is gonna die after a few hours or days, apparently, as we're being told. It can't survive on surfaces, they keep telling us, right? If it can't survive on surfaces, then just leave the ship alone for 2 weeks and the virus will be dead. Give it a normal clean and resume service, right? Am I missing something? Maybe I should ask the WHO for what their opinion is on that, because I'm seeing this quite a lot. You know, they keep repeating that the virus can't survive on surfaces. Don't worry, it can only survive for a few hours, maybe a few days on surfaces. Yes, if you should wipe your door handles or whatever, but outside, no problem. But yet, there's a panic over closing the doctor's surgery in the UK and getting it sterilized and wiped down. And there's a panic over this ship now once everyone's off. Oh my god, that ship can no longer be used. Oh, had all those people with the virus. The virus can't survive, people. Apparently, if we're listening to the WHO, if we're still going to listen to that comedy show, the virus can't survive. Don't worry about it. Leave it for 2 weeks and the virus cannot survive. Right? WHO, they'd be like a nuclear bomb going off in the background, all the windows shattered, the buildings in the background are falling down one by one by one. WHO leader would be like, don't worry, what we need is to not isolate the country where the nuclear bomb has gone off. We need to keep traveling there. Don't worry about the radiation. Radiation is invisible. It's not dangerous. That's what they'll be saying. WHO, ridiculous. Something I found quite interesting is that in America, in a couple of states at least now, but for sure in Florida, coronavirus numbers, coronavirus victims, casualties, everything, it's a state secret. That's quite funny, isn't it? It's a state secret. So you won't find, you know, if there's an outbreak in Florida, unless the news gets hold of it, you won't find those numbers on the official worldwide coronavirus count because it's a state secret and they're not sharing it with anyone. Can you believe it? Like, the USA was complaining about how China's fudging up the numbers, how China's lying about the numbers, and then they're gonna turn around and say it's a state secret. They're gonna have multiple states saying, nope, we can't report how many cases because of the privacy of the victims, it's a state secret. And then you're gonna talk about China for making up numbers? Are you crazy? I don't understand it. Why is the world so crazy? Why is everyone being a hypocrite? What is going on? I completely understand about respecting privacy, as in not telling people, you know, where the person lived exactly, their name, date of birth, where they worked and stuff like that. I understand that. But you can surely say in the state of Florida, the massive area that is, the state of Florida, we have 5 new cases, 10 new cases, you know, someone died of the coronavirus. I'm sure that kind of information isn't giving anything away. Why is it a state secret? And if that's the case, they can't say anything about China because that's ridiculous. Word on the street from a message that I've received is that the 29th of February is a date that we should all be looking out for. Apparently, by that date, there won't be any more new cases of the coronavirus in China and people should be heading back to work. Beijing's date to go back to work will be the 10th of March. That's based on the message that I've received. So let's see how that works. I'm not sure how they're going to guarantee by the 29th of February that there are no new cases so that people can go back to work on the 10th of March. I'm not sure how that works, but people here can do magic, so let's just see what happens. And the last thing I want to talk about is the Wall Street Journal. Apparently 3 journalists got kicked out of China, sort of kicked out of China, you know, they didn't have their visas renewed or their passes were revoked or something like that, so they're out. And it's because the Wall Street Journal wrote a piece saying China is the new sick man of Asia. I'll put the link on I'll put a picture on the screen. I think fair enough. Think about it. If you're in a country and there's a foreign media organization that has an office in your town or city or whatever, and that newspaper, let's just say, wrote a piece about your country saying, you know, saying bad stuff, whatever it is, doesn't matter what it is, saying bad stuff about your country at a time like this when there's the pandemic going on. Why should those people be allowed to stay in your country? Why should they be welcome in your country? And it's I had a bit of a conflict of interest in my head, you know. I was thinking, because I used to look at these companies that used to giving into China's rules and whatever, you know, like Hollywood movies where they would sneak in like some Chinese brand, or they would say some good thing about China in the movie just so that they can get the movie released in China. And I used to think, oh, look at that company. Oh, how could they do that? Or like they would change the map of China to like show like China's version of the map and stuff like that. And I used to think, oh, how could they do that? And then I just thought about it, like, why not? You know, it's like if you want to go to your friend's party, right? You want to go to your friend's party. If you want to go to your friend's party, do you think you can start going around saying bad things about that friend and expect to still get invited to the party? No. You can say bad things about the friend if that's what you think, but don't expect an invite to the party, right? You're free to do what you want, but don't expect an invite to the party. I'm sorry, I got a screaming baby in the background. But yeah, you know what I mean? So I just think these companies, right, if they want to write bad things about China, don't expect to be invited to China. If you want to use the map that China doesn't agree with, then don't expect to sell your stuff in China. If you want to make a movie that has a different version of events to what China wants to release in China, then don't expect the movie to be released in China, right? You want to do something in here, you want to do something here, you got to do it the way of this country. So the more I think about it, the more I think, fine. I mean, all the companies, all the people are free to do whatever they want. But if you say bad stuff or you do bad stuff about China, to China, in China, then I think it's fair enough to not be expected to have an invite to the party. Yeah. And that's where I'm going to leave you today. So let me know what you think. I'm sorry about the screaming baby in the background. I can't control him. I'm going to leave it there and hope tomorrow is a slow day for the coronavirus. But if not, I'll make another video. All right, see you then. Bye-bye.